Hello there. What does it mean to put structure around your life? What is a structured life? When you're very specific about how you live your life, you plan your finances, plan how you spend money, plan how much time you spend with who you spend with. You're being deliberate about how you live your life. You surely can't go wrong. Here is me talking about 10 benefits of putting structure to your life. Welcome to Straight Up with Dr. Yide, where I talk about financial discipline and wealth creation. I am Dr. Yide Jinadu. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, I know you're missing out. Why don't you subscribe right now and hit that notification bell, so that you get notifications every time I post new videos. Now straight to the chase. Number one, you hardly get into trouble with your finances. When you're a person who puts structure to your life, you hardly get into trouble with finances. Okay, how do I mean by this? You put aside a certain percentage of your finances specifically for saving. And why are you saving? You're not saving to buy a car, you're not saving to buy a house, but you're saving for an investment opportunity. Because I can tell you that investment opportunity will come. And when it comes, you have enough money to plunge into that enterprise. Let me give you an example now. You earn, let's say, 150,000 naira, and to you, 150,000 naira is so meager. Try saving 20% of that money, 30,000 naira every month. Do that for the next 10 months. You have 300,000 naira. Be faithful to it. You can't go wrong because you've structured your life. You live your life according to your means. You don't exaggerate your financial capacity. You put a certain percentage to food upkeep and all that. You put a certain percentage to miscellaneous spending, to fund. Yes, you plan your fund. You put a structure around your life. Your rent is structured. You put a certain amount every month, from your salary or from whatever business you do. You just can't go wrong. It's one big benefit of putting structure around your life. Number two, you know and understand your limitations. When you put a structure around your life, you're kidding nobody. You know your financial strength. You know your capacities. You know what your limits are. You know what you can afford and you know what you can't afford. You know your financial incapabilities, so to speak, because you've so structured your finances. You're not putting all your money in one account. You're spreading them in dedicated accounts. You know that, okay, this account is meant for investment, this account is meant for my children's school fees, this account is meant for upkeep, this account is meant for fun, this account is meant for giving, a certain amount you give every month, because you want to be a philanthropist. It's good to give. It's really good to give. So at this point in time, it's better. For example, you have 1,000,000 naira and you put all that 1,000,000 naira in one account. It gives you that vague idea that, man, I have a lot of money. But when you split that money into its respective places, there's an account dedicated for investments. Just say 20% of it, that's about 200,000. You have like 30% dedicated to upkeep, feeding. I don't know what you're eating, that you want to eat more than 300,000 naira per month. Just saying that there. You have maybe 50k or 100,000 dedicated to fund. You just can't go wrong. You know your limitations. When someone comes to meet you, please, can you borrow me 500,000 naira? You tell them, I'm sorry, I don't have the money. Because fine, your money is structured, your life is planned, you know what you have, everything is in its place. So indeed, you know and you understand your limitations. Number three, you know what part of your life needs adjustment. Because you've decided to live a structured life, you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, you know where to put a little tweaking. If you've noticed that, wow, I'm not so good a financial manager in this field of my life, good, adjust. It gives you that space and that allowance for appraisal. You appraise yourself. It gives you that opportunity to audit yourself regularly. You're not deceiving yourself. You know that, yes, this is what needs to be worked on. This part needs to be worked on. Oh wow, I spend so much on this part of my life. I need to reduce allocation to this part of my life. Oh, I spend more on this part. Is it needed? What are the yields from this place? You know what part of your life needs adjustment. Number four, you are more likely to live a happy life. You have been living a structured life, so I am so sure you would have started planning your retirement way before you retire. You don't take life as it comes. You plan your desired outcomes. This is the outcome you want to have at age 40. You start working towards it. This is the life you plan to have at 50. You start working to it as early as 35, as early as 25. You're putting a structure around your life. You don't just spend money on things you don't need, on useless things. You spend money on assets. You're gathering assets. So by the time your mates are 60 and they are looking at starting businesses with their gratuity, you are having fun on the Bahamas, on the Maldives, because you have gone through the grind. You didn't just work hard, you worked smart. You were very, very intentional about your life. You knew where to put money. You knew where to put structure. All right. So you most likely will have a happy life as opposed to your peers who did not pay attention to putting structure around their life. Number 5 is similar to number 4. Number 5 is you are most likely to enjoy your old age. Yes, you are. You don't need to start thinking about making money because you've already spent your youth building and accumulating assets. What are assets? Assets are things that put money in your pocket. Liabilities are things that take money away. The average man out there, a salary earner, is thinking of buying a house or building a house to live with without thinking of a business or an asset that can finance that property. Note this, that the house you live in is a liability because it's not making money for you. Yes, a lot of you keep saying that I'm tired of paying rent. My landlord is taking so much money. Multiply your current rent by 10. Can that build you a house? Be sincere with yourself. So for you to build a house, understand that, is this house making money for me? If the house is making money for you, fine, good, you just built an asset. But if the house is not making money for you, it should not be a priority. So don't spend all your money at the early part of your life in buying a house or building a house that is not making money for you. I rather advise that you spend money on things that will make money for you. A lot of people have gratuities, they say, okay, fine, I worked for 35 years, I worked for 25 years, and this is my compensation. I want you to go and start one farm in the village. You didn't start the farm when you were young. You most likely don't have the skill. You don't have the experience. How much strength do you have? Please put a structure to your life as early as possible. So by the time you get old, you have things to fall back on. You don't need to be dependent on your children. The word is enough for the wise. Number 6, your spouse and children are most likely grateful to have you as their benefactor. How do I mean by this? Because you've put a structure to your life. You no longer have that need for money, as it were. Everything in its place. You have a will, you've put structure, you've distributed your wealth. Even though you're not dead yet, you're a very smart person. You're sleeping and you're still making money. Yes, and you are still investing in assets. You have beneficiaries, your children, your spouse. They will forever thank God for having you as their benefactor. They don't have to struggle so much, though you teach them how to, continue making money so they don't squander all your wealth. But they will forever be grateful for having such a frugal and smart person as their father, husband, or wife. So you shouldn't just think about yourself. Think about the kind of wealth you are transferring to generation yet unborn. Put a structure to your life. Make sure you have a lawyer. Make sure you have an accountant. Make sure you have friends that have the same zeal, that make money and know where to put money. There's so much information right now. Instead of complaining about your economy, sit down and think, what can I put my hands in that will make money for me the next 10, 30, 40 years? Evergreen businesses. You want to study the pattern of commerce in your environment. What businesses move? What businesses thrive? If another lockdown comes into this place, God forbid, where will I plunge my money into? Despite the fact I'm not allowed to leave my house, I still want to make money. This is a smart way to think. This is how you put structure around your life. Be deliberate about your outcomes. Don't just live life by happenstance. I'll give you another example. I keep using this example of an artisan I requested to come work for me at the office a while ago. I gave this man a certain amount of money every day for the next 4 to 5 days. And you wouldn't believe it, the next day he had nothing left. He had spent everything on food, drinks, all rubbish. And at the end of the day, he's back to square one. Of course, this guy is going to have a very frustrating life and old age if he doesn't change his pattern. Many people are not even aware of this life. They only feel that this is the right way to live. Believe me, if you want to enjoy your old age, learn to start putting structure around your life. Number 7, you have more than enough. Because you've developed a life of being intentional about what you do with your money, who you spend your money on, who you spend your time with, the kind of wife you marry, the kind of children you raise, you most likely have more than enough because you already have a certain amount set aside for fun, a certain amount set aside for miscellaneous spendings. Nothing catches you unawares. You are a smart guy. You're really, really wise. When I mean guy, it could be a man or a woman, so I'm not a chauvinist here. Please don't crucify me. Putting structure to your life would always ensure that you have more than enough. You have more than enough because you know your limits. You don't live a false life, you don't live a big life. You don't start spending money the way it comes. You're smart. Number 8, you can afford to be a philanthropist. Because you've put the right structure, you know how much you expect to come in every month, every week, every day. So you can intelligibly set aside a certain percentage of what you give to charity. You could decide to give 5% of your wealth or 10% of your wealth. Now, when people hear the amount of money you give, they say, that's a lot of money. But you know that that amount is just a twinkle amount from all that you have. Let me give you an example. 5%. What is 5% of a million naira? What is 5% of 10 million naira? What is 5% of 100 million naira? What is 5% of a billion naira? Now, if you think this way, you won't be stingy. Because you've decided to be smart and frugal and putting a structure around your life, you can give back effortlessly to your environment. You can give back to your community philanthropically without any thought of, these guys are getting all my money. No, you're smart and you're happy because there's structure. It doesn't move you, it doesn't shake you, regardless of where the economy goes. If the economy goes south, because you've decided to put money in assets, you can't go wrong. Even when the chips are down, your chips are always standing up straight. Number 9, you most likely will live a long, healthy, and fulfilling life. Why do I say so? You have structure around all that matters. Nothing bothers you. If anything tries to shake one part of it, there's a counterbalance. You've already sat down to think about it. You are smart. You're not just a person who lives on loans, who lives life recklessly. You are a smart man, a husband of one wife, very few children. You don't have so many liabilities, as it were. You live healthy because you put a structure to your life. You visit your medical doctor regularly. You visit your dentist regularly. You go to the gym. You have a certain amount of time allocated for this thing. How many times do you go to the gym a week? How many times do you go to see your doctor in a year? How many times do you go to see the dentist? Nothing creeps up into your finances. Nothing catches you unawares. Now imagine you're so wealthy and you don't visit your dentist. You have $1 billion in your account. You have all the Rolls Royce, all the big cars, the Bentleys, and you have rotten teeth all over your mouth. That is not a life worth living. You know that. Number 10, my very last point here. People can trust you with their lives and finances. Seeing that you're a person that's put structure around your life, they want you to teach them how to do these things. They are willing to give you their money to teach them to put structure. Show me, sir, can you help us replicate these things that you've put? That's why the likes of Ray Dalio and all that, people want to run after them because they've seen that they have made so much out of their life. They started from little to much. So if you're such a person, it's a matter of time. People will come looking for you because it's very evident that the structure you've put in your life is manifesting and yielding awesome results. If you just found this video interesting, I would have you like, share, post your comments, and don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Till we meet again, same time, same place next week. Don't forget, health is wealth.